millions.
It's that world heavyweight flow. Championship belt wrapped around my waist, yo. I got that Ric Flair figure flow. Slam you on the pavement, that's why they call me Street Pro. Create heat on beat flow. Like Jordan after the second time he three-peated, folks. Get ready, set, let's go. Fight toe to toe, release the flow created by this mic pro. Lights, camera, get low. Action packed, back to back. In fact, this monster will grow. Y'all better let him know. Man with the master plan, and you have no need to know. You came prepared, now get ready for the show.
Sports Professor. Oh!
Yo, 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 what up, what up, what up, friends? Welcome. You know who it is. Omar, the Professor Fonseca, with the Professor's Semanalmente. Yes, my new weekly program where we go over all of the headlines in the world of sports, entertainment, news, politics, and all of that good stuff. So I welcome you, and as always, make sure you're subscribed at Ballin' Buds, BALLANDBUDS, where you can stay subscribed to see all of our videos when they go live. I'm usually putting out a few videos per week, and obviously going live a few times per week. So I appreciate that if you've been joining in either at any of the Ballin' Buds shows or over at the Bottom Line, where you can catch me tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Eastern. So make sure you join that the Bottom Line Sports group on Facebook. But if you're subscribed to Ballin' Buds on either Instagram or Facebook, you can catch us there as well. Make sure you hit that like button, please, and comment as well, so we can get this spruced up in the algorithm. That being said, let's get this bad boy, or let's kick this bad boy off, rather. Today is Cyber Monday, acclaimed to be the biggest shopping day of the year, bigger than Black Friday. Spending on this e-commerce extravaganza has increased every year. There was apparently a little blip in 2021. There was apparently a little blip where it dipped a little bit, but was just a glitch in the matrix, as they say. But this year, it is projected to rise spending today $13.2 billion on Black Friday, this past Friday after Thanksgiving, which I hope all of you had an amazing Thanksgiving with your families and friends. It was a record $10.8 billion spent on online purchases alone on Black Friday. And again, I mean, they're expecting, 2.5 billion more to be spent today. Can't say I did not contribute. I definitely purchased some gifts for my mom today on Cyber Monday because they were a good deal. So I definitely went ahead and did that. So I'm contributing to the nature of the problem, right? We're all consumerism, capitalism here, and all that good things and good stuff. But really, what's more important to me is tomorrow. Tomorrow is a more special day to my heart. I am very much a person who likes to volunteer and help out people. I donate to the charitable organizations that I agree with their the way that they spend their money, with their values, what they're trying to accomplish, things like that. And I hope that you do as well. I know maybe some people get skeptical about donating money because of the way the use of the funds, or the way the funds may be used within certain organizations. And that's an understandable skepticism. What I would suggest is I always like to look when I'm donating to certain organizations, especially if it's one that I'm going to donate to over time, which there are a few organizations which I like to donate to a few times a year. I just look into what they donate, and they'll tell you on your website, very quick. It's easy to check. It's a quick chart that tells you the percentages of go to what. And from there, you just got to trust it. But tomorrow is Giving Tuesday, and instead of us spending all our money, and I get it, we all want to have things and do things, and I get it. So you're going to spend your money, plus you need things. But if you have the ability, please use tomorrow to give back to those in need. Give to those charities which you enjoy. charities which aim to solve issues that you want to solve. And there are many organizations, for instance, I'm very big on eliminating homelessness. So that's a lot of organizations I work with and I give money to are involved in trying to help get rid of homelessness. So when I donate tomorrow, those will be a few of the organizations I donate to. I like to donate to a few different organizations on Giving Tuesday. So again, it's not about how much you spend. It's just about giving back to those things you believe in. And tomorrow would be the day to do that. The Giving Tuesday Global Network reported last year 3.12 billion in donations. So look, that is only a fraction of what was projected to be spent on Cyber Monday today. That was almost a little more than a fourth of what it was projected to be. So, or a little less than a fourth, excuse me. So, hey, all I'm saying is there are a lot of people out there in need. And if you have the ability to do so, you should always try to help and give back. All right, let's move into some headlines. First of all, in sports, the Major League Soccer Cup final has been set for December 7th. The Los Angeles Galaxies, who beat the Seattle Sounders, will face off against the New York Red Bulls, who beat the Orlando City Soccer Club. Also, bunch of fights this weekend in college football. Rivalry weekend got crazy. There were tridents and pepper spray. Oh my. And we'll get all into that a little later. Prayers up for skiing legend Michaela Schifrin. Michaela Schifrin was injured in a crash during her bid for her 100th World Cup win. I was really hoping she would get that. I was rooting for her. Obviously, she would be the first person in skiing history to get to that 100th World Cup win on the women's side, and it's just sad that she got injured in the pursuit. But that sport is very dangerous, and that sport will lend itself to injuries. We can only hope and pray that she gets back quickly so she can capture that 100th World Cup win. A couple rest in powers here. First of all, Lou Carnesecca, Basketball Hall of Fame coach, won more than 500 games, died at the age of 99. And also, if you're a person from the late 80s, 90s, probably more 90s, you probably know about My Chemical Romance. Well, a rest in power to their drummer, Bob Breyer, who died at the age of 44. So we wish a rest in power to all of them. Moving on to U.S. news, the biggest news today is that outgoing President Joe Biden has pardoned his son Hunter Biden, who was convicted and was due to be sentenced on federal gun and tax evasion charges. Now, the president had previously said that he was not going to do this or interfere on his son's behalf, but he did what any other normal parent would do, and he pardoned his son, just like Trump would have done for his kids and just like Trump did for many people when he was going out. So let's not be hypocritical here, and I'm talking to both sides, including the Democrats who are upset at Joe Biden because he's doing this and it makes them look like not the going against what they've been saying about holding up the legal precedents and all that. Shut up. Don't want to hear it. Y'all didn't do enough to win the presidency and you're upset. You kicked the man out the damn presidency, basically. I mean, what you expect? Screw you is what I would say if I was Joe Biden. That's what I'd say to everybody. And that's pretty much what he's doing. And I like it. Salute to that. Because Trump did the same thing. And you should. And especially when it comes to family. I'm not saying you should do it for everybody, but it only makes sense. So anyways, he has obviously will not be charged anymore. And for the Republicans, wow, really? If it wasn't for Trump being elected president, he'd still be under federal prosecution by Jack Smith. And so we still have a convicted felon who's going to be the president. So let's get off our high horse a little bit here, both sides of the aisle. You're being a little stupid, both of you. Both sides are being very, very ridiculous because it's not like both of y'all haven't done things like this before. So, Hunter, go off and live your life, brother. Try not to get into any more trouble, and definitely pay your taxes. Definitely, I mean, that's going to catch up to you. The government likes their money. Uncle Sam wants his funds, and they're going to come get you if you don't pay your taxes. So that pretty much goes for everybody. That's why they only say the only thing in life guaranteed are death and taxes. You should probably pay those taxes. Now, I know some people who tell me that they go years without paying their taxes. I want to know if this is true. I don't know any names. I don't actually remember who told me that. I've been told this several times over the years, so I'm not like pointing out any specific people, but I want to know if that's true. Anyways, moving on. World news. Syrian rebels, this is very serious, has maintained control over the country's largest city, Aleppo, over the weekend. So the offensive marks the rebels' most significant gains against the Assad regime in years. The rebels are led by Hayat, let me get this right, Hayat Tahrir al-Sham. They are a jihadi group formed as an al-Qaeda affiliate in 2011 before splintering off. The group has largely failed to capture much territory since they started, and since the 2020 ceasefire between Russia and Turkey. But the latest offensive came as Israel is seen to have significantly degraded the capabilities of Hezbollah. And so the Syrian army has now sought out the help of their ally, Russia. Russia sent in jet strikes over the weekend and yesterday in an effort to retake the city, while also setting up a defensive line in the Hama province. So keep you updated there, but that's some crazy news. It's getting really, really wild over there. Hopefully things will calm down. I mean, it's not very likely as these countries have been at war for plenty of centuries, but still, it's just not very good things to look forward to in that sort of situation. Moving on to, I really got to rearrange this. I should probably do world news first before the U.S. news, and the only reason I say that is because then I'm going into pop culture, and most of the time world news is bad because it's always like wars and stuff, and I really don't want to go from wars and then move into pop culture where I'm supposed to be like, yeah, happy, it's kind of like that juxtaposition of the news stories that I have going on at the time. So I'm gonna have to fix my structure here, but that's what this is all about, right? I'm going weekly on a consistent basis, not only for you fans to enjoy the content, but also to help me, because the more I go live, the better I get. And a lot of people have been complimenting me lately on my presence and my ability to lead a show all by myself. And that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to show, ESPN and all the other major news outlets that your boy can do his thing as well on his own. But I also got some projects coming up that I really want y'all to look forward to. Moving on, pop culture. If you're a Spotify user, Spotify Wrapped is coming out this week, so you can go ahead and share that with all your friends. I don't use Spotify that much. If I watch or listen to music, usually just check out YouTube for the videos, or even just like I don't know. I don't go to Spotify that much anymore now that I don't have premium. I let go of the premium. Didn't feel like I was using it enough. So I don't really use it. So my Wrapped are really horrible because it's like I play like just a few songs a year on Spotify. So anyways, well, hopefully yours is good. Just wanted to let you know it's coming out. Moana 2. Wow. What a record-breaking weekend this was. If you or your family or your kid and took your kids out to go see it, wow. Movie theaters are blowing up. Everybody is going back to the movies. It's like it's in vogue before COVID came along. So Disney's Moana 2, the sequel to the 2016 hit, pulled in a record 5-day $221 million. That is 45 million. 44 million a day, 44.25 to be exact, a day. What a record. Best 5-day opening in history and the best record for Thanksgiving. I love my Ohana, and salute to all my familia out in Hawaii, or Hawaii as it's pronounced. I have not seen this movie. I don't watch kids movies. That's the only reason. I probably would though. It seems kind of cool. But anyways, that comes after Wicked opened up with 117.5 million. Now remember, these openings were on regular weekends. Moana had the extended holiday weekend. And Gladiator 2, only 44 million. Definitely not what they projected and what they were hoping to get, especially when they paired themselves with the Wicked double opening, as they did with Barbieheimer last year with Barbie and Oppenheimer. So, anyways, all the movies that are out right now combined to take in 420 million over the 5-day period. Shout out if you know the number. Smoke 'em if you got 'em. 420 over the 5-day period. Let's go. Oh, this is an update on a story, excuse me, that I had talked about a few weeks ago on this same show. By the way, make sure you're subscribed at Ball and Buds, BALLANDBUDS, to stay updated with all the live. I go live a few times a week in all of our videos. I'm usually releasing videos every day. So this was on the Professor Semanalmente a few weeks ago. We talked about Australia proposing to ban social media for kids under the age of 16. You heard my opinion. I completely agree with this. I think social media is horrible for children and their mental health, and adults as well, but especially young children. I did say, though, that I would have amended the date to 14. I think here in America, 14 is actually probably a better date than 16. But I definitely think that social media is definitely a harm. I know for a fact, because I teach social media, I know it's a harm to children. And so those really under 14 probably shouldn't be using it, especially some of the worst platforms, any platforms, with the goal of protecting the country's youth from obviously online harassment and other things that happen online. So it's 12 months before the law goes into effect, but the government is putting the onus on the social media companies. So if for some reason there were to be a breach or lots of kids started using social media, the social media companies would be the ones on the hook. They would be either, disbarred or money fined, whatever they're going to come up with. They're saying right now that if they fail to comply, they could be fined up to 32 million. But that underage users and parents would face no consequences, which is how I think it should be, at least. So we'll see what happens. Opponents say that these guardrails were rushed into law without considering unintended consequences, and that the enforcement will be virtually impossible thanks to tools like VPNs or virtual private networks, which are networks that essentially block your signal from being seen, so you can surf, excuse me, geez Louise, surf in USA, surf the internet without being tracked. So obviously, if you don't want to be tracked, a VPN is what you need in order to keep your social media and internet habits on the DL. Now, I know some people that have VPNs that I'm like, well, what are you doing that you need I get it. Maybe you're using your credit card. You don't want people to track you or something. But these are like innocent people who I guarantee you are not doing anything like the dark web or anything like that. Because I don't even use a VPN because I'm like, whatever. Like, all right, if you're going to hack my shit and go through it with all that, then fine, whatever. I'll just fix all of it afterwards. But like, I mean, it rarely happens. It hasn't happened to me, at least online, and I pray that it doesn't. Pray to God it doesn't, please. But what I'm saying is that, I mean, I don't know where I went. I just went on a really random off-road about VPNs. Just get one if you don't want to be checked. You're being checked by NSA anyways, though, just to let you know. So it doesn't really matter. You can use all the VPNs you want. Let's move on to wins. Researchers say that they have identified a new ancient human species. What? Yes, researchers are calling this Homo juluensis. Homo juluensis. There you go. Homo juluensis, which made stone tools and hunted animals in Eastern Asia between 300,000 and 50,000 years ago. Now, I know some of you may not be into, any of this sort of history sort of things. But I went into a rabbit hole on human species dating back to the beginning of time as far as they could go, and it is fascinating. I mean, amazingly fascinating how many different species there are, and how it is that us as Homo sapiens were the ones that outlasted all the others. Just go read up on it. It's a very if you have time, fascinating stuff. But anyways, the findings shed light on human evolution in the region, while researchers are claiming the mysterious group known as the Denny's. What is that noise? Is that a ghost or something? I don't play around, okay? I don't play around. I will. Anyways, moving on. Where was I? The Denisovans have long intrigued scientists, and they believe that they may have been a subset of this new human species. Despite some modern humans sharing as much as 6% of their DNA, limited remains have been found to date. The most complete specimen is a partial jawbone with teeth from the China's Tibetan Plateau. So we will see what happens, but they do argue that the large skull and the broad teeth are enough to justify a new species, while the opponents say it is not enough physical remains to actually, say so for sure. So we'll see if that's actually true or not. Also, Lockheed Martin unveiled the solar array to power NASA's upcoming Artemis 2 mission slated for 2025. Why is this important, you're asking me, Omar? Well, this flight, if they can get the solar array to power this flight, is the next step in returning humans to the moon. So if we want to get back to the moon, we need this to succeed. So let's root for Lockheed Martin to get the solar array to power properly and successfully NASA's upcoming Artemis 2 mission. All right, finally, before we let you go, I know the game is coming on tonight. You got the Cleveland Browns versus Hot Take Jake's Broncos. What's up, my brother Canteen? Y'all make sure you tune in with us tomorrow night at The Bottom Line Sports. Yes, join our Facebook group at The Bottom Line Sports. The Bottom Line Sports. And you will see us at 8 Eastern tomorrow night. Me, my brother Canteen, Flo Dez, and Hot Take Jake. Shout out my boy Amul. Thank you for tuning in. Amul will be my special guest next week. Yes, we will be bringing back our political strategist to talk not only some politics, but he also wants to talk a little bit about some sports as well. Make sure you hit that like button, please. If you are watching right now, hit that like button, that love button, that laugh button. Yes, I sound like a home decor painting, live, laugh, love, but it helps the algorithm. So please hit that button and subscribe to Ball and Buds, not Buttons. I almost said Ball and Buttons like Joe Buttons. I didn't mean that. It was a Freudian slip. Ball and Buds. You've turned into me with my love of op-eds. Yes, my friend. I like the very nature of this headline show where I can talk everything from news to entertainment to sports. If you remember when back in you mentioned Dr. Curtis, or Mr. Curtis as we called him because he was our 6th grade teacher. Amul and I were in the same class. If you remember, Mr. Curtis or Dr. Curtis made me get up and do the sports headlines. And so now look at me. I wish he could see me now. Anyways, shout out to all of our wonderful school teachers that I love so much. Yes, that noise was Miss McCall, wondering why I was. Well, we were in elementary school, Amul, so I wasn't skipping too many classes in elementary school. And please don't say that because my mom is watching. LOL, good job. Yes, when I was in high school, I skipped a lot more classes. But elementary school, I was a grade A student. I was actually in the, what's that called? I'm sure my mom will chime in with what it was called. It was the advanced students. I don't remember what it was called. But anyways, it was only when I got to middle school and then high school where I decided that I didn't care about school anymore. But hey, that happens. Some of us are just not interested in school itself. It is the learning that is more important, I think. I did enjoy college later in life. I really did. I actually did much better in college than I did in high school. I just wasn't interested in high school. I just did a lot of it. And I love teachers. I think that we need them. We definitely need school in general. Just the structure in general prepares you for adult life. But let's be honest, some of those things we never even used again in our lives. Some of it was just pointless. But I get it. Again, structure, making sure that you can be an adult later. I mean, if you don't have school to structure, you're not going to be able to be a proper working adult later in life. I don't believe. But I could be wrong. We'll see. My mom's probably going to yell at me when she gets downstairs after this. Amul says, hello, Mom. You can catch him next week. Mom, make sure you're subscribed at Ball and Buds. I know she is. But anyways, all y'all should be. Let's keep it moving. All right, we're moving into sports so we can finish this off because I know a lot of people are trying to get to the football game and they're saying I am holding you up, so I apologize. Let's keep it moving. First of all, I shout out to Josh Allen, who got engaged this weekend to Haley Steinfeld. I know there's a little bit of pop culture as well, but they had kept this under wraps for a long, long time. But now, shout out. I love love. I love when other people love love. I ain't been in love in a while. I ain't had a girl in a while, but I love when other people are feeling good. You know what I mean? So shout out to them. But this puts more pressure on Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift. And that's why I bring this up, because Taylor, if he's not ready, it's okay. I understand. He's a jock. He's a junkhead, a jockhead. It's okay. It's okay. Come back to Nashville. I'll be waiting for you. We'll handle everything like classiness and all that good stuff. But yeah, if he's not ready, then you gotta shit or get off the pot, my friend. Shit or get off the pot, Travis. That's what I'm saying. Don't leave that good woman standing, just waiting for you to propose. You better propose before she comes back to Nashville. And if you break up, I would never step on your toes, though. I am wishing you the best. I kid. We're just having fun. I like to have fun on the show. Okay, I'm going to live a little overboard because it's about a couple minutes and the game just started. All right, well, as I mentioned earlier, I need to broach a quick topic on college football. So the rivalry weekend was this weekend, and wow, rivalries were crazy. And look, I'm all for it. I'm all for the rivalries. I'm all for the flag plantings. I'm all for the fighting, to be completely honest. I love fighting in sports, especially hockey. But neither here nor there. Obviously, we do not want our student athletes, our young children fighting, right? We do not want that. Young children are all men. We don't want our kids fighting. It went a little far this weekend. All right. First of all, at the Ohio State-Michigan game, I get it. That's one of the most heated rivalries in the country. Michigan tried to plant their flag on OSU's logo. Nah, Jack. Nah, sucker. That ain't happening. That's not gonna happen. Like Ryan Day said, you ain't. And I salute those gentlemen that defended their home turf. I wouldn't have let it happen either. But the problem is, then they proceeded to get pepper sprayed by the police because of all the commotion and fighting that was happening. And that's when things start to get out of hand. We can't have student athletes being pepper sprayed or even needing the cops to be getting physically involved. Obviously, there will always be cops there for protection, but to be physically involved really don't necessitate that. But it got even crazier. ASU, the Sun Devils, have a trident. I guess their mascot carries a trident. So if you remember that movie Anchorman, where the newscasters got into a parking lot brawl and the dude got hit with, I think I've seen a dude get hit with a trident. They tried to put the trident into the middle of the field against obviously their rival Arizona, and that someone almost got stabbed in the genitals with a trident. That's all I'll say. We need to watch out. We need to let's back it on up, people. Back it on up. Yes, we love our rivalries. Yes, we love our passion, especially in college football, but we don't need people getting stabbed in the gonads with a trident. Okay, my friends? All right. Let's keep it moving. We're going to end, as we always do, with our weekly sports rankings. So hitting up our men's college basketball AP top 25. Kansas is still at number 1, number set with 7-0, followed up at number 2 by Auburn, also 7-0. Tennessee, shout out the Volunteers in Knoxville, coming in at number 3 on the AP Top 25, also 7-0. Kentucky following them, and then Marquette at number 5. They are 8-0, with all teams above them at 7-0. So those are your men's college basketball rankings of the week. Now we move into our women's college basketball rankings of the week, the AP Top 25. And you already know I'm still high on my kite. We are taking flight and flying along. I'm on a magic carpet ride. Because the UCLA Bruins, my Lady Bruins, shout out ladies, are still number 1. They are 8-0. UConn follows them up at 6-0. Number 3, South Carolina, who we beat. That's right. Take that. Take that. Like Diddy, not like Diddy. Take that. All right. South Carolina at 7-1. Number 3 at number 4, Texas 7-0. And the LSU Tigers at 9-0. Now, I'm going to skip over the number 6 team because FUSC, we hate the Trojan condoms up in this household. But my Maryland Terrapins, I am an alumni of the University of Maryland. The Lady Terrapins pulling up at number 7, first time in the top 10 in a while at 8-0. So shout out to my alma mater and the Lady Terrapins. All right. Moving on, we are going to move into our NHL rankings for the week. And the number 1 team is still the same. Still the same team. Number 1 is the Winnipeg Jets at 18-5. Going down to number 2 is the Carolina Hurricanes, still sitting pretty at 16-5-1. The Minnesota Wild are at number 3 at 14-4-4. You have the Vegas Golden Knights moving up to number 4. The top 3 were the same as last week. Number 4, Vegas Golden Knights at 14-6-3. And then the New Jersey Devils are coming in at number 5 at 15-8-2. So those are your NHL hockey rankings for the week. Moving on to our NBA rankings at number 1. I mean, I ain't got to tell you. I mean, I know you already know that the Cavs have been on a heater. And so the Cavs, again, have passed up my Celtics in the NBA rankings. But I don't agree with this. My Celtics should still be number 1. My Celtics, yes, I know they lost a couple games this week. I get the Cavaliers have a better record. They're 18-3. We're 16-4. But we beat them. We took the undefeated record. We should be number 1. All right. That's okay. We'll be there back in a couple weeks. Shout out to the Cavs. They're number 1. We are at number 2 at 16-4. Moving down at number 3, the Houston Rockets. We talked about them on the Bottom Line Sports last week. What a surprising team. Shout out to Coach Ime Udoka and the job he has done there with that young squad. They are 15-6 at number 3. Coming in at number 4 in your NBA rankings, the Oklahoma City Thunder at 15-5, holding solid without Chet Holmgren. Isaiah Hartenstein has stepped up there. And then at number 5, the team we beat in the NBA Finals last year, the Dallas Mavericks, pull up at number 5 with a 13-8 record. Now, moving on to our NFL power rankings. This week we have the Detroit Lions are still your top team at number 1. They are 11-1. Then you have, wow, what a statement victory. What a statement victory with the Eagles over the Ravens. Wow, they are at number 2. The Eagles pulling up at 10-2. The Buffalo Bills, a good victory, pulling up there at I went down too fast. The Kansas City Chiefs are at number 3. They are still only 1 loss. Although, you know what? I'm not going to get into it because I went off on Sunday Surge on my Raiders rant, and I really don't feel like getting upset right now and going off on the sorry ass Raiders again. So just go check out Sunday Surge from yesterday. See what I had to say. But anyways, then you got the Buffalo Bills at number 4. And then finally, rounding up is the Baltimore Ravens at number 5. Now, there's a little bit of discrepancy here because some people are saying that Minnesota should be above Baltimore since they lost last night. I still personally think Baltimore is the better team. Again, these not my rankings. I'm just getting power rankings online and giving them to you. But I still think I get it. 3 more losses than the Vikings. I get it. But I don't trust the Vikings, and I trust the Ravens. I don't know what to tell you. I know that maybe they haven't proved it so far, but that's what I'm gonna tell you. Okay, that's what I'm gonna say. All right, finally, we are gonna let you off here. We're gonna move into our college football playoff projections tomorrow. The new rankings come out, but as of now, let me go ahead and at least give you the updated projections for what the playoff bracket will look like, and also what the conference championship games are going to be this weekend. Again, make sure you hit that like button and make sure you subscribe at Ball and Buds. So first of all, let's go ahead and look at the playoff bracket right now with Oregon at number 1, Texas at hold on one second. Yes. Okay. Yeah. No, this was updated today. Okay. I just had to make sure that this was updated today. It was. I checked that earlier, so I wanted to make sure. All right. Texas at number 2. Boise State is and this is the Athletic, New York Times Athletic. This is their projections. And obviously we don't know yet because we got the conference championship games coming up, but these are their projections. Clemson at number 4. So they have Boise State coming in at number 3, being a very highly ranked group of 5 team. And then Clemson at number 4 as the ACC representative, which means that the Big 12 would only be getting 1 team in, and that team is going to be Arizona State. So for the rest of the bracket, it would be Georgia versus Tennessee in the 8 and 9 game. It would be Penn State versus Arizona State in the 5 and 12 game. It will be Ohio State versus Indiana in the 7 and 10 game, and Notre Dame versus SMU, in the 6 versus 11. Now, this will all change, not all of it, but some of it will change because this weekend we do have our conference football championship. So let's go over the conference football championship matchups this weekend. In the All-American Conference, Tulane 9-3 goes to Army to play the Black Knights, who are 10-1. Army really needs this win. I still don't think they're going to make the playoffs, even if they do win, because they are a group of 5. They are not, group of 5s just aren't respected as much as the Big 4 or the Power 4. And Army was undefeated and had control of their own destiny and lost it in a very bad blowout to Notre Dame. So it's not looking good for them, but they definitely need this win if they want any shot. In the ACC, the Atlantic Coast Conference, or as I say, it should be the All Coast Conference now because they have teams in California. SMU, the new SMU, brand new to the conference, 11-1 in their first season in the ACC, will take on Clemson at 9-3. That will be Saturday at 8 p.m. Saturday at noon, this Saturday. Big 12, Arizona State at 10-2 will face off against Iowa State at 10-2. So Colorado, even with that big 52-0 blowout, was not able to make the Big 12 championship game. The Big 10 championship game, Oregon at 12-0 versus Penn State at 11-1. James Franklin, if you're going to win a big one at any point in time, this needs to be the big one. This needs to be the big one. And I know it would get bigger because then you would go to the playoffs. But at some point, you got to start winning big games, and this needs to be the start. Oregon, they've been great all year. I picked them as one of my top 4. I still think they will be in the top 4. But this could possibly be a game where it's not a trap game because they're both highly ranked, but they could be ripe for the picking, Penn State. Y'all need to take care of business. And James Franklin, if you don't show that you can win this big one, we're gonna have to start losing trust in you at some point. And I'm not a Penn State fan, but I know I would if I was up there. Moving on, I'm not going to go through all of them. The Mountain West, Boise State at 11-1 will take on UNLV at 10-2. That'll be Friday at 8 p.m. The MAC, Miami at 8-4. Miami of Ohio will take on Ohio Bobcats. Oh, shout out my old roommate Andrew, who ended up going to Ohio. I miss you, brother. Or my man from Pakistan, as Fly Guy would call him. Conference USA, Western Kentucky and Jacksonville State, both 8-4, face off in the Sun Belt. Marshall at 9-3 versus Louisiana Ragin' Cajuns at 10-2. And finally, the SEC, the big one, Georgia, with 3 losses. What did I tell you? I called it a few weeks ago. I said we were going to have a 3-loss team in the playoffs. I said it could possibly be this year, but it definitely would happen in the future. And I thought it was going to be Alabama. It might be Alabama and Georgia, because Georgia has 3 losses and they're in the SEC championship. Now, if Georgia were to lose, then, or actually, if Georgia were to lose or win, that probably knocks Alabama out. But again, we never down the name power of Alabama. I could see them putting both of them in and us having 2 3-loss teams. And that's why you come to the show, y'all, because they call me the professor for a reason, because I'm always right about everything. You know what I mean? That's what they call me, the professor, because I'm right. And my predictions always come right, just as they did again. So I appreciate you tuning in, and I hope you tune in next week. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you're subscribed to Ball and Buds, BALLANDBUDS, or hit that fancy QR code right over here to the left-hand side. I forgot I was mirroring my camera, so it's not the other way. I'm mirroring. Anyways, that QR code will take you to all of our social media links, so you can subscribe on YouTube, follow on Instagram, and all that good stuff. Just go ahead and use your camera. Go ahead and take a picture of that QR code right there at the top, and it'll take you there. Make sure, again, you subscribe at Ball and Buds, most importantly on YouTube, and follow on Instagram. As always, I appreciate everyone that tuned in. Thank you. I love you. Ball and Buds, we are here. Check us out at the Bottom Line Sports tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Eastern. And then Wednesday, I'm planning on coming back with my Mind of the Professor on Wednesday, but I may possibly move that back to next week, and I may do a different show on Wednesday. But either way, we're definitely going live tomorrow. Should be going live possibly Wednesday. Be on the lookout for that. But if you're subscribed, you don't have to worry about all that, because you will be there and get it. So shout out again to everybody that tuned in today and everybody that commented, including Canteen, my brother Amul, who will be on next week. Don't forget, our political strategist, Amul Madan, will be on next week to talk some more world news, U.S. news, and politics. And then, as always, shout out my mother. She supports me as any other wonderful mother would, and she says, good job. I love you, Mom, so very much. Thank you for tuning in. That being said, again, I appreciate everybody tuning in. Subscribe at Ball and Buds, BALLANDBUDS. Holla!